All right. We're live.
Live?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Today is March 11, 2021. Here we are still. This is our next Safety and Technology Committee. We do have a time constraint on today's meeting because we have another meeting that's following us at 7:30 p.m. Alongside that, there's also a few of the participants in this current meeting that have some previous engagements they have to get going to as well. So we're gonna go through the first three items, I think, a little quick, and then we'll probably take our time for the remainder, but I don't imagine this is gonna be a long meeting. So first off, let's go ahead and call the meeting to order. We're gonna do that at 5:38 p.m. and we'll take a note of who's currently in attendance. The first agenda item is reviewing and approval of our minutes from the last meeting. Let me pull that up. And with a little luck, you guys can see this. Can you see the?
Yes, we can see the agenda.
Oh, you don't see the minutes though. Hold on, let me share the minutes. Share. Okay, now you see the minutes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so this is the meeting minutes for February 25th, 2021. The meeting was called to order at 5:40 p.m. Participants were Carlos Ramirez, David Warner, Neil Ragudio, Chris Cardi, Diego Rendon, myself, Antoinette Darden Syndrome, Laser Alert, and we had two special guests giving us a presentation from Lyric, Dr. Madeline Romano and Miss Lucy Roman. So we started off with our typical review and approval of the previous meeting minutes, and there was an approval. From then on, we had the presentation by Dr. Madeline Romano and Miss Lucy Roman. And basically they gave us a primer on everything around the world of Ed Law 2D, which, as we learned from the last meeting, is actually it's actually a pretty involved effort in the legislation that came out. And we learned that the GCSD IT team has been spending a lot of time getting ourselves prepared in compliance with all of that and aligning all of our systems. We basically did a presentation on that. We introduced ourselves, the presentation that covered DPO roles, policies, the NIST framework that's being used for implementation, an inventory tool that the IT team is working on, basically building out a catalog, and the presentation finished at 6:45 p.m. From that point, we moved on to an update on the Greenburgh distribution and the ongoing replenishment of malfunctioning devices. Mr. Ragudio spoke of the new devices, how many devices had been replaced, how many were in progress, and what the plans were. From there, we went on to an update on instructional technology. Carlos Ramirez and Diego Rendon gave us an update on the iReady middle of year assessment that was going to kick off at that point. We also discussed Nearpod, how we were going to launch it as a district, and what the future plans were. David Warner asked about state assessments and the current status as of that moment, and we got some information on that. I had requested, I made a statement about asking our parents to please not help the students during the iReady diagnostic test so that our results could be as accurate as possible. And then we had a technology and facilities coordination and planning meeting overview by Mr. Ramirez, telling us that, moving forward with the plans that the board is contemplating how IT is going to be involved with that as part of the conversation with facilities, et cetera. And then we had a quick touch point on the safety and security update. Laser didn't have much to provide at that moment since the last meeting, not much had occurred due to circumstances. I called a motion to end the meeting, and then we ended the meeting at 7:07 p.m. Does this more or less jive with what everybody recalls for that meeting?
Yes.
Okay, so is there a motion to amend? Is there a motion to adopt these meeting minutes?
So moved.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we're going to go ahead and adopt those minutes. And then let's share our current agenda. Okay, the next thing up, during our presentation, the presentation that was given to us by Lyric, they made a mention of two specific documents that the board needs to approve. The first one was the data privacy policy, and the second thing was the latest Parents' Bill of Rights. Ms. Antoinette Darden-Cintron, do you mind giving us an update on where that is?
Yeah, I have a very long report about this. So after speaking to Ivy said that it's going to go through the same process that we do with any other board policy. So she will work, touch base and work closely with Dr. Reynolds, I believe that she said, in regards to what admin does. So usually once admin looks over it, policy, then the lawyers look over it, and then we make our decision. So that's the stage where it's at. It has to go to admin, and then it'll go to our lawyers, and then we will make a decision.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
All right.
All
That
right.
was it.
Excellent. All right, moving right along. The next piece is the safety and security update. So Dean Parker, I know you had something prepared for us. Go ahead.
Sure, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'll go through it by building. What I did is I asked for data points from all the principals to provide information regarding what's going on with safety and security in their specific buildings for the committee. Ms. Mail at ECP, at this point in time, there's no concerns that she has regarding safety and security. We then move to Lee F. Jackson. Ms. Simone has provided that first bullet, she needs of additional security cameras for the following areas.
Okay, so for the Mr. Parker, for the areas, don't cover those yet. We'll go into private session to discuss that. You can keep going with the rest of it though, please.
Certainly. Next point Ms. Simone made were she's requesting more signs on premises to notify neighbors that during school hours, they are not allowed on property. No dogs allowed on property, and cars should not use Lee F. Jackson as a cut through to the Woodlands Middle High School ball field. So those were the concerns to date for Lee F. Jackson. Moving on to RJ Bailey, Ms. Rossi states that she does not have concerns at this time. Moving on to Highview, Mr. Mastrangelo states that all cameras that are set up in the school need to be in working order. I believe he has a punch list of ones that may not be functional at this point. He can work directly with the tech team regarding that. And then at Woodlands Middle High School, Mr. Smith has provided that the cameras need to be checked and make sure they're in all working order. Requesting of larger signs on campus. The signage that we have are pretty small, so when you're driving on campus, it can be difficult to read the signs as you're approaching the different turning points on our campus. So he's requesting larger signs, and in addition, no trespassing signs. He's also asking for better lighting in the parking lots. We have the upper parking lot where staff parks. There's, I believe, one light pole that's there. The student lot, which is utilized by students and staff alike, I don't believe there are any lights there. So lights would be an added perk for us. And then finally, there's a need to order more walkie-talkie earpieces, just like an equipment thing that Mr. Smith will work with the business office regarding that request. Those are the items that were provided by the principals at this point, very specific. I did also have a conversation with Mr. Falcone regarding cleaning, as that's also a safety, somewhat falls under the issue of safety as well, especially in the time of COVID. He assures me and the committee that cleaning takes place throughout every school day, and there's also deep cleaning and sanitizing that happens every evening in every building in preparation for the next day for staff and students. That's it for me. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you for that report. Appreciate it a lot. Do I have a motion to go into private session for a few moments so Mr. Parker can give us more detail on the request from LFJ?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second,
Okay.
you know, other people other than board members can move in second.
Yes, we're just accustomed to it.
We're not used to that. That's like a board thing.
No, please,
Exactly.
we do it too
Exactly. That's what
much.
happens.
All those